warm welcome to yet another episode of our weekend tonic show, the Sunday Magazine, coming to you. Tonight's package, we shall be bringing to your viewing delights interesting stories such as messages from the pulpits, entertainment news, not leaving out sports as well. Well, do stay with us after this time. We're starting with the presidency. President Bola Tinubu is to participate in a statement by the special advisor to the president on information strategy, Bayo Onanuga, states that the meeting with special focus on security crisis in West Africa. The meeting will begin on October 14 and will bring together heads of state and government, senior intelligence and military officials from African countries and representatives of governmental and non-governmental organizations. It is a counter-terrorism initiative launched by King Abdullah confronting West Africa, including the expansion of terrorist networks and the maritime piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. At the meeting, participants will exchange assessments of the current security landscape in West Africa. Participants will also develop strategies with other leaders to explore ways of addressing the rising security challenges across the sub-region. Minister of Works David Umahi has expressed displeasure with the China Harbour Company handling the project. If the China Harbour Engineering Company handling the project did not align itself with prescribed specifications. And of course, this report will be brought to you in our subsequent bulletin.
Annual program, Alpha and Omega Conference, come to an end. The guest preacher, Reverend Crown, took her sermon from the theme, Stand, Nothing is Impossible.
It's supposed to be a process. If somebody comes to the church as a needy person, we let him know, even though this is your condition today, you will not remain like this forever. So we help you to make sure that by tomorrow, you yourself, you become a giver.
If you are believing God for anything, your words must align with your expectation. Your action must also align. There must be that agreement for you to see manifestation.
As a believer, you should stand on the word of God, because we know that there are many things that are out there to make you derail, especially in your faith.
Similarly, it was a joyful atmosphere as worshippers gathered at the ERCC Vision Assembly for the 2025 conference, tagged The Heart of Man. The guest preacher, Very Reverend Zachariah Nasara, took his message from the book of Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 9 and 10. He encouraged believers to strive to make their hearts pleasing to both God and man.
Since we are in the image of God, we should be carrier of the image of God. And being carrier of the image of God, we should manifest the nature of God in us. And that nature of God is a nature of care, is a nature of love.
Part of the problem we are facing today is because we have come to disobedience to God. He has called us to repent. We need to cultivate the act of obedience to the word of God. That is the only way we can have our peace. That is the only way we can live joyfully.
Giving is of immense importance and value to mankind. Giving extends help to the less privileged. When we give, the less privileged received their help.
In all churches visited, prayers were offered for the growth and development of the country.
Talking cultural identity now, the Abeokuta Descendants Union of Nigeria gathered in their numbers from different parts of the Federal Capital Territory to celebrate their 35th anniversary. Aisha Bashir was there for NTA.
Themed Rooted in Heritage, United in Purpose, the celebration commemorated 35 years of preserving the Eba heritage, empowering members and fostering a strong community in Abuja.
Under Ogun State Indigenous Forum, that is where we have Abeokuta, we have Yewa, we have Ijebu, we have Egbado, we have Oweda. So it's not dependent on where you belong within this, meanwhile Abeokuta is the main central body. So that is where I come from. So wherever you find yourself within this area, that is where you need to belong.
If you clock a certain age, celebrate it. So this union clocked 35 years, and we deem it fit that it should be celebrated. And apart from that, we've come long, and we deem it fit that at least we should attach this celebration to a project.
We are celebrating our unity, we are celebrating our oneness, our togetherness, and our contribution to nation building as a people.
When a little is started to a little and is blessed by God, it's been more than enough. So we are calling all our people together to make one little thing or the other, so that at least we can do what we want to do.
Cultural displays and performances, including traditional music and talking drums, held sway.
There are some people, some Abeokuta indigenous in Abuja, they don't even know their roots. But whenever they step in there, in fact, we trace their roots. Now, you won't believe that you will not meet your brother, your sister, or a cousin, even your schoolmates there.
We thank God for our life, that we started this anniversary from day one to this time.
Ado is generate all this Egba son, all this Abeokuta son, the one in Abuja.
The event brought together sons and daughters of Abeokuta, along with friends and supporters of Eba culture, where tributes were paid to recognize significant contributors.
The Federal Capital Territory Office of the Public Complaints Commission, in collaboration with operatives of the FCT Police Command, has rescued 16 children from a legal orphanage home in Dogongada, Lokongoma. Hawagimba reports that the operation followed credible intelligence alleging that the children were subjected to neglect, maltreatment, and starvation. Officials of the commission, supported by security personnel, stormed the premises and evacuated the victims to safety.
It began with whispers from concerned neighbors, then grew into a public outcry that the FCT Public Complaints Commission could no longer ignore. Acting on the tip, the commission joins forces with the FCT police and stormed an alleged orphanage in Lokogoma. What they found was shocking. Instead of a sanctuary for children, they met a structure that resembled an abandoned building. Windows sealed, doors locked. The compound littered with refuse. Behind those doors were 17 children, living in conditions no child should ever endure. The rescue was as emotional as it was urgent. Malnourished, weak, and frightened, the children were gently carried out and taken to the FCT Police Command, where they were handed over to the FCT Ministry of Women Affairs for care. Monday Secretary Adedayo Benjamin Lani, visibly shaken by the sight, describes it as one of the most heartbreaking cases she had ever witnessed.
For us as the Secretariat, directly in charge of coordinating and implementing the care of children in the FCT, clearly we can see violence against children isn't just about the physical abuse, it's about the psychosocial traumatic abuse of life and of destinies. It's it is heartbreaking to see what I have seen today. And but again, I want to say that this is a result of the very intentional will of the Federal Capital Territory Administration under His Excellency the Honorable Minister Barrister to make sure that the scorecard of every mandate secretary must report renewed hope. Renewed hope for children is also hope for them in the place of their life expression and experience. And this is why now, clearly, this has to be done. Sadly, the perpetrators of this were not just the owners of the home from which, quote unquote, they were orphans being raised in an orphanage. They were also children that perpetrated the abuse.
City Public Complaints Commissioner Honorable Musa Diko vows that justice will be pursued to the fullest, promising a collective effort to protect the rights of the rescued children.
We got wind of some children being kept somewhere around Lokogoma, and the public needed us to intervene and see how those children can be rescued. Immediately, I directed my staff to drive in there, assess the environment and see what actually is happening. The Public Complaint Commission has a mandate to ensure that justice is delivered where necessary. And of course, where there is no justice, certainly you will be faced with crisis. Fortunately, the Nigerian police acted swiftly through the divisional head of that station and mobilized men to that site, and what they saw was actually a very sympathetic situation.
For now, the children are safe, receiving medical care, nutrition, and psychological support. The FCT education authorities have also pledged to help them return to school, so their dreams and childhood are not lost to this ordeal.
Record actually has it that more than 20 illegal orphanages are operating in the FCT. Well, thank you, Hawa Gimba. We hope that the Social Welfare Secretariat of the FCT would, do due diligence on this. We're going on a quick break. When we come back, more on Sunday Magazine. Just stay with us.
Good evening. Glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me.
And it is on that note we welcome you to today's edition of the program. We celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
On the news.
On the news at 7.
The latest station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja, would say have a lovely day.
Welcome back. As the world counts down to the Global Women's Summit in Beijing this October, the spotlight is already shining here in Nigeria, this time around through the lens of film. The Chinese Embassy, working with the China Film Administration and the China Cultural Center, rolled out the reels for the event that brought together women, diplomats, and movie enthusiasts under one roof. The festival was more than just a cinema. It was a celebration of courage and creativity.
It was the canvas of color, arts, and inspiration at the China Cultural Center in Abuja, a stage where stories found their rhythm and voices found their light. On screen, women breaking barriers, weaving resilience into the fabric of national development, a story familiar to women everywhere.
The stars sprinkle an unconscious rain. The drizzle sprinkles the flowers.
那清，那娉婷女士，鲜艳百花的冠冕，你戴着。
The China Women's Film Festival, a prelude to the Global Women's Summit in Beijing, became a celebration of voices, journeys told through the gentle lens of film, framed in courage, carried in song and dance. Hosted by the Chinese Embassy in Nigeria, with the China Film Administration and the China Cultural Center, the festival also opened doors to deepen cultural exchange, where Nigeria and China met in harmony of art and vision.
China's commitment extends beyond its borders, and its activity share its wisdom and experience to advance the global cause of women's development.
China would like to, talk and collaborate with all over the world. Of course, include Nigeria, our very friendly, very close country, our friends, to not only talk about the way to, make a world the gender equality.
Government dignitaries held the initiative, calling it timely, a reminder of the power of women to shape societies and the world.
Honorable Minister met with top leaders, CEOs in Beijing to strengthen partnership in art, culture, and tourism, and the creative economy. She was amazed by the speed and the innovation of the Chinese people. And many of them will be in Nigeria next month to deepen our collaboration.
I made a court where National Assembly are trying to amend the constitution and make inclusion 30% of women inclusion in government. Because without women, there will not be hope.
That this current administration, under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, women, children, families, and the vulnerable are the center and the heartbeat of this government, particularly has focused on the creative economy.
Many thanks, Sandra Cameron. We look forward to doing bigger deals. Well, let's head straight to the entertainment desk to see the latest in that industry.
Less than a year after Drake sued Universal Music Group for defamation over Kendrick Lamar's diss track, Not Like Us, a U.S. judge has thrown the case out. Judge Janiet Vargas ruled that no reasonable listener would take Lamar's lyrics as factual, calling them typical trash talk in a rap battle. She also noted that Drake himself had prompted the pedophilia reference with his tailor-made freestyle early this year. Afrobeats singer Spyro is making waves after boldly claiming his debut album, The Men, The Boys and Your Guy, is the best Afrobeat album in 16 years. Speaking on Sound City Radio, he said the only project he aimed to surpass was One Day Cole's legendary Mushin to More Hits. While praising albums from Wizkid, Davido and Burna Boy, Spyro insists none have no skips. While One Day Cole's, the record he's determined to break. Starring in the movies, the highly anticipated superhero film Osamede, set during the 1897 British invasion, received a standing ovation at its Edo State premiere. Directed by James Umokwe and starring Evie Okujaye-Egbo, the movie celebrates Benin's heritage and heroes. Executive producer Lillian Olubi called The Homecoming a dream fulfilled, while government officials hailed the movie as a model for cultural preservation and tourism.
Why didn't you give it to the police?
Lastly, YouTuber turned filmmaker Chris Stockman's horror debut, Shelby Oaks, finally lands a UK release on October 29th, just in time for Halloween. The film, which blends found footage and supernatural mystery, follows a woman searching for her missing sister and childhood demon that may have been real all along. Produced by Neon and backed by the Newton brothers, Shelby Oaks is already being hyped as one of the most intriguing horror debuts from a YouTuber since Talk to Me. The Confederation of African Football (CAF) has reiterated its coaching requirements for national teams, stating that head coaches and assistants must hold a CAF A license or CAF Pro license. However, the Nigerian Football Federation has been accused of neglecting these requirements in their appointments, with some coaches lacking the necessary licenses. This has led to criticism from stakeholders who attribute Nigeria's poor performances in recent tournaments to the lack of certified coaches. Meanwhile, Morocco has been confirmed as host nation for the 2026 FIFA World Cup playoffs. The tournament will feature top 4 second-placed teams from CAF qualifying groups, with the semi-finals scheduled for November 13th, 2025, and the final on November 16th, 2025. The winner will advance to the Intercontinental Playoffs in March 2026. Lastly, Team Nigeria made a strong start at the 11th World Para-Powerlifting Championships in Cairo, with Esther Owogu and Rukayat Opeyemi Ajiboye securing silver and bronze medals, respectively, in the women's 50 kg category. The Director General of the National Sports Commission praised the athletes' resilience and national pride, reiterating the organization's commitment to supporting sports. With Sports Brief, Wayne Lugu, NTA News.
Many thanks, Wayne Dogo. On that note, we come to the end of today's package. Join us again at same time, same station. I am Serafina Okonomegrid. Good evening.